Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And I am back. We just finished up doing the Knicks versus the Boston Celtics. Game 5 of the 1990 playoffs. And it was a good show. I enjoyed it. I had fun doing it. The next time I'm going to do it at my regular time. I tried something new to see, just to see what it would be like if I did it at 8:30. Right? So I did it at 8 o'clock. Next time I'll be back at my regular time at 10:30 because that's the time that people are used to me doing. And maybe some people just aren't interested in going back and checking out that old stuff, but I'm going to keep on doing it. I'm going to keep on doing those old ones, man, because it was fun. It was fun. Had a good time. The Knicks obviously won that game. You know what I'm saying? After being down 2-0 to the Boston Celtics, they came back. They tied it up at 2. And then they went on to go to Boston and beat them in a game 5. Patrick Ewing scored 31 points, had 8 rebounds and 10 assists, almost a triple-double to push the Knicks into the second round of the playoffs. They went on to get swept by the Detroit Pistons, but it started the Knicks on a trajectory going up, and it started the Celtics on a trajectory going down. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, listen, we don't have anything specific that we're talking about tonight. We're just taking questions and talking. We're just talking, basically. We're just talking about the Knicks and anything else that has to do with the NBA, because right now we're not on a lockdown, but it's as close to it as we're going to get without actually being on a lockdown. You know what I'm saying? As close to it as we're going to get, and we don't know when the Knicks will be back. You know what I mean? We don't know when the Knicks will be back playing basketball. They may not be back until next season. So we'll see what it is, man. I got Guillermo here. I got Isaiah here. And, we're just going to chop it up a little bit. Feel free to call in if you want to call in, 516-405-2246. And we'll talk about whatever is on your mind, ladies and gentlemen, as it pertains to the New York Knicks or even the NBA. All right, so I guess the first thing we'll start with is, even though this is not Knicks, we'll start with Kevin Durant. All right, we'll talk about Kevin Durant. And the Brooklyn Nets. 4 players from the Brooklyn Nets, one of them includes Kevin Durant, have contracted or tested positive for the coronavirus. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why, Guillermo, why. I guess I understand why, but why, when someone like KD or whoever contracts it, it's got to be national news. It's not like they received a death sentence for contracting this virus. Most people don't receive a death sentence for contracting testing positive for the coronavirus. But when someone like KD, of course, Tom Hanks, they get it, then it's all over the news. Why? Starting with you, Guillermo. Is it a tactic to scare us or what?
It could partially be that, but the main yes, I could say there's a scare tactic, and the reason. Let me say this: the reason why it works is because we as humans put value in these people. We put value in these so-called stars and celebrities who, let's be honest, they don't give 2 damns about us. I have an employee, not employee, my coworker. He's our trader, so he doesn't really work under me, but he works for us. And, he was basically saying like how this is like a political ploy to get Trump out. He's a little kind of kooky, but he made a good point. And he said that the flu kills, like he gave the stats on how many people the flu kills every year, right? And no one pays attention, right? But as soon as this corona thing happens and it could get politicized or, put famous people to it, we care. And it's like, why do we, it's the same reason why we care about people on Instagram, like these stars or whatever, the Instagram posts and Twitter and stuff. We put too much power and attention on these athletes who, let's be honest, they only do one thing for us, which is entertain us, just one thing. But we take them more seriously than anything else. That's why we have them on news stations giving political opinions and stuff. And it's like remember the famous thing that Dave Chappelle said, they're talking about blah, and then he was like, next we're gonna go to Ja Rule, and it's like, Ja Rule, what the What the hell does Ja Rule know about? Like, I forgot what important thing he was talking about, but that's the joke, and it's a good point.
No,
Why the
I
hell is Ja
remember
Rule
that.
talking about like global warming? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess the thing about it is that although, and we would never know, hopefully we don't know, the numbers of people testing positive for the coronavirus doesn't get up into the numbers of people that contract the flu each year. Hopefully it doesn't get up there. But I guess this disease or this virus can spreads like much faster. You can get it much easier than you can get the flu. I know. Like,
Well, is it because, sorry to
personally,
cut you off, is it because that, and this is me, Pasha, I don't know anything about anything, but is it because that the flu has been around so long that the base of the flus are going around now, if you get, like, they're just mutations versus this new COVID, the fourth thing of the COVID family or the coronavirus family, that it's kind of new?
well,
So
it's
that's why
probably that. It's kind of new. So it's new. So our bodies have never, people aren't immune to it. Right. So people are kind of immune to different strains of the flu. So when you have another strain of the flu come around, your body's a little bit used to it, even though there's different strains that go around that are stronger than the others. This is one that no one's ever. So, I guess that's the reason why it's able to spread so fast, because our bodies just aren't immune to it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. These guys got it. They're young. They should be healthy enough to get over it without too many symptoms. The last interview that I've seen with Donovan Mitchell, he hadn't really dealt with any symptoms. The same with Rudy Gobert. I don't think Kevin Durant said that he hasn't really had any symptoms. So,
but Sim, as much as I hope nothing happens to Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant's going to milk this. He's going to have another interview with some magazine, barefoot like he did in the other interview, waxing poetic about. It's like, I'm partially joking, but I know Kevin Durant's emotional and just all over the place. But it does suck that he got it. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but hopefully, look, every but every so-called athlete in soccer and in basketball. I don't know anybody from baseball yet. Football, I'm not sure if there's any. All of them have said like they're fine. So, hopefully that means something where, your body is, relatively healthy, you're in shape, and you could be, you could get over this. But Kevin Durant, I mean, it just sucks. I don't know.
It does, man. And like Julian Trans said, it transmits so much faster and spread easier because there's no vaccine. And there's, a 1 to 2 week incubation period. So you can be walking around with it for 1 to 2 weeks and you don't know you have it. So you're spreading it to people because you're not showing any symptoms. And then 2 weeks later, after you've contracted it, you start to show symptoms after you've spread it to 10 other people or something, So hopefully everybody is safe, and is just following the protocols to, for social distancing and washing your hands and all of those type of things. Hopefully, we want to get over it because there's two scares with this thing. Two scares, right? People getting sick and dying and the economy. Two scares. But, let's get on to something else. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. Let's talk about the Knicks and Christian Wood, right? So a report comes out that the Knicks are interested in Christian Wood. What do you think, Gammo? What do you think?
That's a guy who contracted it. I think he came from not the Clippers, right? What team he come from?
He's with the Pistons. The Pistons.
Oh, Pistons. I don't know much about him. Is he good? I really don't know much about him.
He's not bad.
The virus.
He's a tall forward. He can knock down threes. But I think the Pistons really like him, and I think he's a restricted free agent. I don't know much about everything.
He has a virus? This sucks. I got to look up his stacks. No, I'm not even joking. I'm just like, of course, the Knicks. It would just happen to two guys that we were linking to the Knicks, right? I guess this guy, Christian Wood, and Donovan Mitchell, of course. But, I don't know much about him. Like I sent Isaiah some little thing on Steve Novak and how effective he was. Just like a few clips on him. or showed a few of his plays, and the Knicks do need we need 3-point specialists badly. The way that we play even this year, even though I think we're gonna change what we do by next year, even if whether it's dribble drive, guys coming off screens, more off ball for the shooting, or if it's off ball, cut to the basket, and have some guy pop out on the perimeter, we need specialists. We need a guy, one or two guys that can at least hit anywhere from 39% to 42, 43% from the three. We need knockdown shooters, man, because this offense just becomes way too stagnant, way too reliant on guys cutting to the basket, the clear out triangle where Randall posts up and moves from there. We need guys that once they get it, 1-2 touch, bang. And we also have to predicate our offense, or not predicate, but make our offense more geared and to open up those shots. Steven Novak, you remember the infamous double screens where, you'd have Tyson Chandler and some other guy, just any random guy basically set that screen. Steven Novak comes around the high point near the wing perimeter and hits that little diagonal shot, the diagonal three. I don't know what you call it. I guess that's a three from the wing. But yeah, we need more of those type of plays. But yeah, we need people to knock them down. Because look, Bullock is decent, he's good, but he's been here and there. He's been inconsistent lately. Dotson just doesn't play anymore for some reason. And he's a little bit older. I think he's gonna be 26 next year or whatever. After that, who can you think of who can knock down threes like that? I'm trying to think. I can't really think of anybody else. And if you look at all the elite teams in the NBA, all these guys, you look at the Lakers, they have, Danny Green, KCP. I forgot what they're, don't mark me. They're known to be that. I don't know what their percentages are this year. You look at just any of the top teams and they're going to be able to space out the floor and not rely so much on the dribble drive penetration. So
right.
If this guy, if coronavirus ain't that serious, I don't mind looking at it. I'm just, this thing is such a stupid.
I don't think, by the time he would be a Knick, he would, once you have the symptoms and then you're done with the symptoms, I believe that, once you're done with the symptoms, you kind of you're kind of immune from it. So
you sure? Because I saw reports of someone, there's reports of people that caught it twice in China. And it was after that 2-week period where they caught it, contracted it, went through the symptoms, got better, and then I guess contracted it again, which is weird because viruses, once you have it, you have it. But, obviously they go dormant. But
right.
I mean,
but he's a guy that can shoot the threes. He's tall. I think he's 6'10", something like that.
Mm-hmm. How old is he?
He's a young guy.
He's what, 24, probably 24, 23, 24.
I don't know how young he is.
24, 25. Isaiah says 24, 25.
24, 25.
Yeah. This guy, he can hit some tough threes. From these highlights you just showed.
Yeah, it's 24
he gets some
years
tough
old.
Threes, man.
Yeah. So, we'll see how that goes. Look, the Knicks, depending on everything that. Here's the thing with him. All right, he's 6'10", 214 pounds. Talking about Christian Wood. This year he makes $874,000. Here's why I would think the Knicks would really be interested in him. Right? First, he's the same age as Bobby Portis. Basically does the same things as Bobby Portis. But Bobby Portis, if the Knicks keep Bobby Portis, they're going to keep him for $15 million. Right? I don't know how much he's going to demand on the market. I have no idea what he would demand on the market. But it's not going to be $15 million. So you can waive Bobby Portis. You have to pay him $1 million if you waive him. You can waive Bobby Portis. Sign Christian Wood. Now, I think he's a restricted free agent, so the Pistons aren't just going to let him go. You know what I mean? But we're just saying hypothetically, sign Christian Wood, and basically you're going to get the same guy, the same production, without having to pay $15 million for next season.
Yeah, I'm for it because we'll put it like this: who are the Pistons? Do they have anybody they want to keep? I mean, they got rid of Reggie Jackson. I don't know who the other young players. I really don't know the Pistons whatsoever. Do they break the bank for him? Maybe they draft some guy and they build around him, but. If you're talking about a kid like that, yeah, I don't think he'll demand that much. But then I gotta look up his stats, man, because I just don't know. I just don't know too much because, again, a team like the Pistons, we really don't know anything about them. Like they're just one of these teams that just goes by the waste. They just do whatever. So Christian Wood is averaging 13.1 points, 6.3 rebounds, 1 assist. He's shooting 56.7% from the field. Damn. 38.6% from three. Pretty good. 74.4% from the free throw. That's whatever. You can improve that. So he's a solid young player. Do the Pistons try to build around this kid? Maybe so. I just because who else they have, Sim? Who the hell's on the Pistons besides what Kennard?
But like build around him. I don't think he's that type of talent that you build around. He's
not say build around, but you in terms of build with young players. Maybe that's your movement. Blake Griffin just keeps getting injured. They kind of move off from him, and not necessarily build around, but build around a young core of play, a group of players or a group of young players.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see a Pistons lineup real quick. They got. I really don't know who the hell is on this damn team. Their roster consists of Jordan Bone, Bruce Brown, Sekou Doumbouya, the kid that they just drafted. I think he's from France. Langston Galloway, Blake Griffin, John Henson, Donta Hall, Luke Kennard, Lewis King, Brandon Knight, Tony Snell, Derrick Rose, Jordan McRae, Thon Maker, Kyrie Thomas, Christian Wood, and Svi Mykhalia, I can't pronounce the name. So you got guys like Thon Maker, who starts to show improve, but says talent. You got Thon Maker, Luke Kennard, and the kid Sekou. But Thon Maker and Luke Kennard are kind of like those big. Because what Luke Kennard is what 6? Was he? Oh, he's 6'5". Thon Maker is 7 feet. Tony Snell, if he stays with the team, he's 6'6". So they got a lot of forwards. They kind of have a glut of forwards. And the kid Sekou is 6'8". So yeah, they might move on from him. Knicks offer this kid. I don't know what I'm not good with contract negotiations, obviously, but say if the Knicks offer him. You think we get him for like $5 million?
I don't know, man.
Because you got what's name coming off. Dotson's probably going. Well, Dotson has 1 more year as a free agent.
Dotson's coming off the books. Trier's coming off the books.
And then you got the boy you just said, Portis coming off at 15. If he's not,
Yeah, as long as the Knicks don't re-sign, as long as they don't
pick up the option, right?
As long as they don't keep him, if they got to waive him by June 28th. They got to waive Bobby Portis by June 28th to make sure that $15 million comes off the books. If I'm the Knicks, I don't know if they can re-sign him after that. I'm not sure, but if I'm the Knicks, I'm waiving him. I'm not mad. Earlier in the season, I was like, this guy. But towards the end of the season, I wasn't mad at Bobby Portis anymore. I like the things he was in. He seemed to fit into a spot, but he's not worth $15 million.
Yeah, Bobby Portis he is what he is. He's stuck in his ways in terms of what he likes to do, when he could do it. Like, look, he's a guy that he could give you, he's undisciplined. And it's not like like he's all over the place. He's just, I think he has a ceiling, right? He's a guy who'll give you a few threes a night. He's not going to play really good defense. He'll try, but he just physically doesn't have the fast twitch to kind of move around with guys out on the perimeter. It's kind of weak down low in terms of sometimes guys body him. But he'll give you occasional times you can hit those threes. Look, he's a guy that he probably needs to go to contender where he's working with a strong coach or a strong superstar. You know what I mean? Where he's not, trying to fight or, do the whole bug eye, get into fight. Even though he was not that bad this year. But, he is what he is. And a guy like Christian Wood, I'm not saying Christian was a world beater, but I think the Knicks need to always look to try to go younger and more moldable. Because the kid Christian Wood, again, he played with the Pistons, so it's kind of tough because he really have there's nothing to really, there's no real foundation to say, all right, follow this coach or follow this star. I mean, you have Derrick Rose, decent player, but is he really a leader? But yeah, I would just keep trying to go younger, get guys who try to mold around and build with Mitch and RJ.
He's not really younger than Bobby Portis, but.
What is he, 20?
He's 24.
24, Bobby Portis, what, 25?
Bobby Portis, I think, is 24 I mean, he's going to turn 25 next year. Bobby Portis is young. He's way younger than people.
Bobby Portis been in the league for he's only 25, bro.
Bobby Portis is way younger than people think.
That's not a good thing.
He's way younger than people think, man. People think Bobby Portis is like 28, 29 years old.
The other way around.
Everybody thinks Bobby Portis is like 28 or 29 years old. He's still very young.
He plays like it.
Thank you, Isaiah. Yeah, he plays. Isaiah said he plays like it, man. He plays like he ain't gonna get no better.
Am I lying, son?
Yeah, you live.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you live. Let me
Bobby
get to this
Portis.
phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. You guys are still
Yeah, I'll
live,
get
though,
it
but
up.
I'm getting to this phone call. Go ahead, caller.
Yo, Sim, how you doing, my man? How's everything?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Besides missing basketball, man, I'm all right, man. Chilling.
You should
But,
have jumped on and caught.
yeah.
We just played the Knicks and the Celtics.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
Oh, you
Yeah,
was on? Okay, good.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. It's a little something, you know? Like, yeah, that was really cool. I like
We're gonna do some more of those.
But,
We're gonna do some more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was actually calling about Christian Wood before you even brought him up. I saw the report too. I think it was Begley said they're enamored with him. I love Christian Wood, man. I know they traded Drummond, and after they traded Drummond, they put him in the starting lineup. He was averaging like 25 and 10 over his last like 10 plus games. I like him a lot, man. I think he would fit better than Randall just because he could score from the outside as well as the inside. You know, he could stretch the floor. I love Christian Wood. I know Guillermo's saying $5 million. No, it's going to take at least double. I think he's going to get at least. I think he's going to get like $12 million or so.
You think so?
I think the way he's playing now. You know, before
but he's
what happened.
Well,
you know.
I guess we'll see. I'm not sure he's. To me, he's not going to be Steve Novak. He's going to be better than Steve Novak a little bit, though. He'll be a 3-point shooter, probably can post up a little bit. Maybe he can go to the basket. Steve Novak could really only shoot the three, but he's going to be that type of guy, I think.
Yeah, I'd see better. I mean, he could defend a little bit. I mean, I think supposedly they're saying he's going to get like 4 years for like around 50 or so. That's what I heard, Just because he's been balling out, man. He's been really, really good, man.
Well, okay,
And
maybe
I was,
4 years, $50 million.
Like free.
That scares me. These guys who
get 4 years,
overperform in the
$50
contract
million,
year.
I could see him getting 4 years, $50 million.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get good numbers, man. The way he was playing and everything. If we could get like free agency as a whole. I know there's no obviously superstars besides AD and Davis. He's not going to leave the Lakers, so it doesn't matter. But there's some good guys, young players that we need. In my eyes, we need a 2 and then a stretch 4. If we're going to get better. And there's some shooting guards. There's a Joe Harris, a Bogdanovich from the Kings. You got Malik Beasley. So there's definitely just certain guys we can get that could really that are young that we could just build with, man. Like it may not be sexy, it may not be championship caliber, obviously, but then we get the point guard in the draft. I think we can make a good young core, from this draft and free agency to make the right moves.
Just jumping on free agency. What's going to be the strategy for free agency? We don't know what the strategy for free agency is going to be.
That's it.
You say what? I didn't hear what you said.
You got the power forward from the Wizards. I like a lot. Bertans. He's a stretch 4. He could shoot like crazy, but that's
we
all
just
he could
picked
do.
up a power forward from the Wizards.
His defense is atrocious. He doesn't rebound, so but his calling card is what we need. But the rest of his game is just really, really flawed. And Christian Wood, to me, he's a little more. He's more solid at other things besides just scoring. But if you can get a knockdown shooter like. I know Joe Harris is an unrestricted free agent. So all of a sudden, you got Joe Harris from Brooklyn.
Yes, that's a good. I like that.
Yeah, that Bogdanovich you got from the Kings. So so you got a Christian Wood, right? And then you get a Joe Harris or Bogdanovich. Then you get a point guard in the draft. It's is it the championship caliber? No, but it's all of a sudden you have a good young core that you could develop and just keep on getting better with.
And caller, can I just say something real quick to the caller?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I like the Joe Harrison because again, if we get a guy like Atkinson, they're gonna run that high pick and roll offense that basically made Joe Harris what he is today. Let's be honest. Joe Harris could say what he want about Atkinson and saying, oh, blah, blah, maybe you need a different voice, but you're not getting the ball with Kyrie and KD. Joe Harris is not looking good with Kyrie and Kyrie. So if we get Atkinson, I would he'd be perfect
plus,
for Christian Wood too.
Joe Harris, I don't think he was one of the guys that supposedly, didn't like him. So, say we get Atkinson, maybe Joe Harris, that makes him want to come here. You know what I mean? So that could be good as well. You know, if we get Atkinson, you know, we need shooters, bro. You know what I mean? So, you know, Woods, I know, is shooting like 39 from three. So all of a sudden, say you get a Wood and a Joe Harris, you got a couple of shooters. You know, it's something you could, you know, develop and just grow with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he's
Instead
got to
of,
come
like,
here.
waiting for the sexy name and the Greek freak and a couple of those guys ain't coming. You got to stop with you know, those dreams. You know, we just got to just build. You know, from the Knicks, you can get a Malik Beasley. I think he's restricted though. He's a restricted free agent.
Who, Malik?
So,
Who?
but-
The one who
yeah,
came from
Malik
Beasley?
Denver, but he got traded though.
Yeah, right. He's at Minnesota now, but he's been dropping like 21 a game with that team since he's been traded. Because Denver, they didn't give him the playing time because you know, they got a really good squad. You know, but there's some really good names that we could get. You know, free agency. I'm just saying. You know.
Well, I think, you know, I'm looking at it. I think that Christian Wood is an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah,
so
he is unrestricted. Yeah, right.
he's unrestricted.
Yeah.
He's
but
not.
they have his bird rights.
Right. So I mean, you know, the thing is this: everybody has to come in. They've got to have an idea of how they want. You know, they got to go into free agency. I know we're skipping right over the draft right now, but they got to go into free agency with a strategy. You know what I'm saying? And understanding how they want to try to build this team, how they want to put players together. You know, they thought they had a strategy last year, and they thought guys like Bobby Portis was going to come in and be able to spread the floor like that and knock down threes, and it didn't happen.
Right.
So
yeah. Can I make a quick point about the draft? If that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. I mean, just looking at this draft, I don't want to break Knicks fans' hearts, but this is probably one of the worst drafts that there's been in a pretty long time. So if I'm the Knicks, man, like, I mean, look at it. I mean, people are saying Anthony Edwards is the number one pick. No offense to him, but I've seen some of his games. He hasn't been good this year. He's shooting like under 40 from the field, under 30, about 30 from three. His defense is very lazy. He's not, I think, in a really good draft. He's probably not even a top 5 pick, maybe top 10. You know, because if I'm the Knicks, man, next year's draft is going to be one of the best in over 10 years. So what I do is, maybe a team loves someone, so the Knicks get the second pick. I just trade down and trade down more. Maybe you get someone's first round pick next year in a great draft. You know, that's what I would do if that's me. You know, I don't think this draft is good at all. There's obviously no Zion. I don't even think there's Morant. These point guards, they're all flawed. Ball, he can't shoot. Halliburton, you know, the bad thing is, too, that obviously with no NCAA tournament, you know, we can't see these kids in these big, impactful games, and a lot of them have been hurt. Halliburton and Ball, you know, they've been out for the year for, a month or so at least. You know, a lot of the other kids are playing in other countries, so we haven't really seen these kids to say, you know, oh, I want this, you know what I mean? So it's tough, you know, to really decide who we want, you know?
Nah, I feel you.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Knicks have 2 first-round draft picks. What do you do? I know you said, you know, maybe you trade down. Do you think?
That's what I do. I want to try and get a first in next year's draft. I think, don't we have Dallas's pick starting next year? I think
we have Dallas's pick starting next year and our own first-round pick next year.
Oh, we do have it next year, right?
Yeah, we have our first-round pick, and I think we have Dallas's first-round pick next year.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Next year's draft, they're saying, is one of the best drafts in a long time. So there's some, you know.
So hold on. So what are you really saying? What are you really saying?
What do you mean?
What are you really saying?
I mean, I'm saying this draft stinks, and that, you know, if I could get a pick in next year's draft where there's a way better draft, you know, like, you know, get someone's future first-round pick in a better draft the following season.
But what are you really saying? What are you really? I know what you're really saying. You just don't want to say it to me, but I know what you're really saying.
What? I mean, what? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying this draft isn't good. It's terrible.
You saying that the Knicks should tank next year so they can try to get a top pick?
No. I'm saying, I mean, no, I don't want to tank next year. I mean, no, I'd rather just, I mean, if there's a year 2 tank, next year is the year 2 tank. This year wasn't the year. You know, everyone's saying that. I was reading an article. They were saying like teams should start tanking already for next year. Cause they said that's like an unbelievable draft next year. I'm not going to say I know all the names and know all these players, but they said it's like unbelievable, one of the best in like a long time. So
Okay.
I'm not saying tank, but I'm just saying, like I said, what I would do in the off season is try and get Christian Wood, try and get a Joe Harris or a Bogdanovich. Then you get the point guard, whether it's a Ball or Halliburton or Killian Hayes. Then, you just build from there. Whatever you record is, it is. And then hopefully you get a decent pick, a good pick next year. You get the Dallas pick, but right now I don't think that's going to be a great pick. Obviously what KP looks like now and Doncic, but you never know. So, I'm not saying tank, but if there's a year to tank, next year is a year to do it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All right, just saying. All right, man. I appreciate the call, man.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one, fellas.
All right, later.
Peace.
So what's going to happen with the draft, man? Just looking at this whole thing that's happening and going on, what is going to happen with the draft? They're probably going to end up, you think they're going to end up just doing it on television? And maybe the players won't even be there. They'll just call their names or something like that. What do you think? You think that's what's going to happen? The draft was set for June 25th, I believe.
Yeah, they might just look, they got to make money somehow, so they're definitely going to have it. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you. I can hear you.
Hear me? Yeah. They definitely got to do it somehow, so they'll probably hype it up. I doubt they'll because I think the NFL is also not going to have. They're thinking about not having people there.
Oh, the NFL is going to be televised, and only Roger Goodell's going to be there.
Right. So yeah, they're probably just going to do the same thing with the NBA. I mean, it only makes sense. But I saw something from Bleach Report that was saying that the NBA was like, they might push the season like to the end of August, or like it might end in or something like that, and that might be permanent. Like. So that means they kind of film themselves. They might think that they try to push it out, compete with baseball. And who knows? Look, if the season doesn't start up till way later, right? Maybe they do have to shift it. Maybe these guys that get healthy, because I think the NBA is kind of yearning to get back, because they just said they have to get approval, and those stuff. So I think they're just trying to wait for like an official approval, especially after 2-week incubation period, whatever. But they might just wait it out and try to see if they could do it, live, maybe with a limited amount of people, just maybe the players, because I mean that moment is it's a ratings getter where you see the guys coming up, they say something about a dead relative or something like that and make the kids cry and all that stuff. So I think they're gonna try to wait it out to see if like they could get the incubation period done with, and then have some kind of watered down, but still have the players there.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's probably what they'll do. Find some way to have it. If the season does get extended until August, do you think? I mean, are they going to have the draft? When will they have the draft?
The season ends in August. Maybe you just have it in. You have it in September, and then if they want to start the season. You still have October to go, I guess. Maybe the off season's cut off, because I mean, I want to say you can't really say they have an off season now. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you just cut off the off season. Maybe the NBA is a little bit more lenient on guys resting, top stars resting, whatever. Just because it's understood. Maybe the first half they let guys kind of, allow that to happen a little bit. Maybe try to pick up the second half, but. Yeah, you have it in September. Is there any other major draft? NFL draft happens in May, I think. April. I'm sorry. Yeah, April. You're right. End of April. You're right. Baseball, they do that like no one gives a damn. Even though I love baseball, no one cares about the draft like that. Then the other sport, I don't think there's any other major sport. Hockey, who cares? But yeah, why not? Because you have summer league is 5 games. That's in the span of 2-3 weeks. That's in September too. So maybe they just have that, and maybe for these kids, they just come in right after. I mean, college is going to be done with. I'm not sure if they're going to do the tournament this year, or they're not going to do the tournament. So
I don't think so.
So there's just no game. So basically, the draft's going to happen and go right back to basketball. But they've really had a break for a lot longer, because at least the NBA is looking to resume. They just come back in, and that's doable, because
I think if I was them, regardless on regardless of what happens with the remainder of this season, I'd still have the draft in June. Right? I think I would still have the draft in June. And then just let the teams play, because most of the teams in the NBA aren't going to be in the playoffs, and then half of your teams are going to go out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be able to begin working with their draft picks and doing whatever. I think I would still have the draft in June, and if the season did go until August, let them finish up in August, and then in September, you start working with your draft picks, and maybe even have a summer league going at the same time as the regular NBA, because you don't have to worry about those guys playing in the NBA.
Well, wait, hold up. Aren't you having a draft before the season ends? Like the regular season, not the playoffs?
You probably would. Yeah, you would probably have the draft before the regular season ends.
So, well, I mean, the tank thing is not as effective, obviously, but...
Okay. Well, I'm thinking that... Well, no, all right. Yeah, I guess you can't do that if the season begins. If the season begins, I guess you can't do that. I think that they're going to end up just doing the playoffs.
So? Just cut the season short? And
if they do just end up doing the playoffs, then you can go ahead and have the draft. If they do play a season, then I guess you can't have the draft. You got to wait until the season ends.
Is there any advantage to having, say if they try to do what you just said, like where they have the draft before the regular season ends? Is there any advantage like this or disadvantage other teams would be at if you had the draft early, but you still had the regular season go on and then you do the playoffs? Just kind of think, because I mean,
the only thing is if they have the draft during the season, it's going to mess. The regular season determines your draft positioning.
No, right. But yeah, I guess that's the only. I'm just trying to think, like, because right now, I mean, it's such a weird situation. But say they had the playoffs early. Do you? Yeah, but if you're a playoff team, you're not probably really caring about. Even if you're an 8 seed, you're probably not caring about draft position. So, yeah, I guess you can see it if they cut the season short and just have playoffs. You could probably see an earlier draft. But I just feel like the only thing is that you always want to do things like the draft or whatever when your ratings are just going to be low, right? Naturally, no one's caring about basketball in the NFL season, right? With that regard, right? So you just want to kind of save your ratings, like these little ratings boosts for when it's weak, when it's a dead period, right? When it's that seasonal period. So they still might just save it for later to after the NBA ends. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Everything's controlled by ratings, son.
I think they should take this opportunity as well and change the format of the draft and free agency. I think they should have free agency before the draft.
To have free agency before the draft.
Because it's going to help you to understand. See, when you have the draft and then free agency, you can draft a player, but you don't know what that player is going to do when they get in the NBA. Right? So sometimes you might still be like, all right, if you get if you draft 14, 15, 16, you might sign somebody that is similar to the player you just drafted because you don't know what this player is going to be. If you did free agency, and then in the draft, now you can be like, okay, I just signed these guys. Now I'm going to, I can draft someone that fits into a spot.
But you could argue it the other way, right? That you would say that once you draft a player, especially a first round guy you think you're going to build around, that gives you better perspective as to what because I think it's the other way, because you usually, unless you're going after one of the big stars, right? When you get a whole bunch of role plays, you're usually getting at to kind of build around what you see as your core guys. And your core guys usually going to include some kid you drafted, right? Or a kid you drafted last year. But, just for this argument's sake, some kid you drafted. So I think that, it would actually behoove you to draft first. Actually, I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I just feel like if you draft first, if you're a relatively decent team or have a good front office, you're looking at all right, what do I need to get to build around these guys versus, okay, I got a bunch of young core players. Do I get another guy who does one thing well the other guys don't do? Or do I get a guy who's just a superlative talent and he might, do things great that other guys do that I just acquired, but he's just too good of a talent to pass up. So you can make an argument for either side, but I think that it would probably make. I just don't know. I hate saying this. I just feel that it will make more sense to draft first and then have free agency after. And also drafting first. Let's be honest. Again, ratings. The commissioner in the league knows there's some teams that they're gonna go for a leap and take the kid that he was too good to pass up. And it builds up the ratings, it builds up the interest, and it's like, all right, you have the situations where you draft a Steph Curry, but you have a Monte Ellis, right? You draft these guys where it's like, all right, they already have this guy. Why they draft him? And it builds up intrigue and all that stuff. So, again, ratings. I think the NBA wants it where, oh, you drafted this guy, and it's like the hype for it. Versus, okay, Sim, you have the free agency, and it's like, oh crap, we were thinking about getting Halliburton, but actually, we think this point guard is going to be good enough. We're just going to get, a small forward who could really do it well, shoot really well, whatever. And that's all we need. They might even, like, what's the name? Nicole just said, those teams already got guys in free agency and they already have their vision set or it's changed by free agency. They might sit there and just keep trading down. You want a bunch of teams just keep trading down and a bunch of players not being drafted. So, again, I think the NBA sees just ratings. Like, they just want that intrigue.
I get that. I just think it, for me, and I mean, I guess it could go, there's arguments for either way. For me, I like to, if I'm building my team and say, okay, I'm going to go out and these are the players I'm going to sign. And then I'm going to, now when I'm out there drafting, this is what this is what I'm going to do. You might still know your draft position, so you might know who you're going to draft anyway. Right? Depending on if you're in the top 5, you might know who you're going to draft. Once you get below that, it could switch up. The only thing that I can see, and it still doesn't even work out this way, because you still can't sign players until July 1st. So it's like, you draft somebody and then you got this, you got this money carved out. But even if they did free agency first and then you drafted a player, you still might have, they still would just say you can't use this certain amount of money because of your draft pick. It's probably not going to change. I would just like to see it that way. But, either way, I guess it's going to be the same either way, because half the players know where they're going to sign well before the draft anyway.
Also, I'm trying to think, if you had because you also have to think about how the NBA PA thinks about this, right? Say if you have free agency before the draft, with that, because then the only thing I'm thinking of is that maybe players complain, especially incoming players complain that, but then it's a guaranteed contract. I'm just trying to think of like where agents would come in and say, all right, something, we don't like this because maybe players are going to get paid less. Maybe, there's less of a need to pay. So I don't know. I'm just brainstorming right now because everything's mad new, but I'm just trying to think if the NBA PA would come in and complain about the what's the name, free agency being before the draft.
Well, the owners would have to decide that anyway. I think the owners decide, and then the commissioner. I guess they probably all vote on it.
Right.
But it's gonna be crazy to see what happens going forward. Now, and then you said that somebody said that they may do keep it this way from now on or something and start the season later. I don't think so, because the only reason why I don't think so is because they don't want to. Well, I guess if they ended in August, they'd only be overlapping with baseball. Not only overlapping with baseball, but they'd overlap with baseball. If they ended in August and then you had playoffs in September and October, now you're overlapping with baseball and you're overlapping with football.
Right. And ESPN has contracts for all three, right? So
yeah, ESPN, ABC, Fox, all of those guys got contracts with all of them.
You don't want to cannibalize your ratings, so yeah, they probably try to space it out.
Well,
you saw the little slick thing the NBA did today. oh yeah, we're gonna give out free NBA League Pass. It's like, yeah, because there are no games playing, man. Like what?
Exactly.
Acting like you're all altruistic, man. Like no one's stupid. Come on, man.
Yeah, I saw that. So I was like, oh, is that going for till next season or does it end this season? Like, I mean,
the guys think they're slick. It's like, ah, look, the COVID thing is messed up. You know, people are donating. Zion Williamson did a really good thing to pay the workers, that stuff.
Yeah.
That's cute. But don't try to sit here and tease me for the league pass. Am I going to get blacked out for games that that are ready recorded or whatever? Because that's a bit my major problem with it. There's just so many blacked out games here, and there's like, what's the point? I just use Fubo TV and whatever.
Yeah. Even here, you know, because I use the league pass, and if the Knicks are playing the Wizards, then the game is blacked out. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You know, because they don't want to, you know, overlap with the local TV. I got a caller. Caller, you on live? What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sim?
What's going on, man?
Oh, and how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. Well, basically, what I was thinking was, I don't think they can make any decisions yet because they still have to wait for the Olympics. I don't think the Olympics were canceled, and I don't know how you could play your finals when you'd have depending on the team, you'd have at least 4 to 5 players on any given team on the Olympic team. I mean, if you can't have the Bucks play the Lakers and have AD and LeBron and Giannis over there in Tokyo. So I think everything's got to wait until that's decided.
Yeah, that might be true. At the very least, they'll, you know, speak with them and try to determine what's happening and what's going on. But I mean, you might be right. You know what they should do? I'll tell you what they should do. They should just televise 2K.
Oh man.
Televise 2K, simulate the games, televise 2K. Don't have people playing them. Just simulate the game and play the rest of the season.
Well, they already have the stars playing like in esports and stuff, so they already have the platform for it.
Yeah, you know, play the rest of the season that way, and then there you go. Bam. Get it over with, and then go on with the rest of everything. How many people would you watch it?
No.
If stars, he's a caller. My bad.
I'm asking either one of you. If they actually did that, if they actually said, all right, you know what? We're just going to take and we're going to put 2K games on TNT, and we're going to play the games like they were on the schedule. We're going to play the game full, you know, the full 12 minutes. We're going to make all the settings just like the real NBA game and let them play. Would you watch it?
If you have players that actually played the game, you have to have a player from each team, a player represented from each team, play the game. And you got to put some money on it, just like the championship. Yeah, if they put money on it like that, because it's going to be intense.
I was just talking about, so you're going another level. I was just talking about simulating the game. Put the game on simulation.
No, I want to see these. I want to see LeBron James has to trust somebody who can play video games on the team. Probably some guy he never talked to. He's got to go and suck up to that guy and be like, yo, do this for the team, all that stuff. And that guy becomes important. And then next year, maybe he gets 1 or 2 shots in a game. I would love to see that. I would love to see these guys. Because again, they don't show aggression on the court. I want to see aggression somewhere, so they might do it in a video game.
So what if they got the Knicks gaming guys? Not just Knicks gaming guys, but you know how they got Knicks gaming, right? What if they got those guys and they had their teams and then they played and they put it on TNT and then the winner was the winner, won the championship?
No way. No way. I don't want to. I don't mean to be crass, but these guys are making $30 million a year. Put them in an arena with nobody in there, and play these games if that's what you got to do. And I don't want you test. Everybody's going to be tested. I mean, regular people can't get tested, but the whole Utah Jazz was tested. So most of these NBA players are tested. Give it another 2-3 weeks, and if the government says, hey, we got to keep things, tight. Put these boys in a neutral site. We don't even have, nobody's got to know where it is, and let these boys play. Make a tournament, even if it's 3 cities, and you have all the teams lined up playing the games on the same court, and we get to watch triple headers and all that while we're all sitting here. That's what they need to do. I don't playing video games, man. I don't even like watching my kids play games, so I don't want to see that. These guys make too much money for me to sit around and watch some kids playing games. No. Put them boys in a thing. Give us something we have never seen before. Man.
I feel you. We'll see what's gonna happen with it, man. I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call.
No, thank you, man, and thank you for doing all this for us, man. We're dying in here.
Hey, we're gonna try to keep it going, man.
No sports, nothing. You're keeping us alive, man.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to keep it going. I'm gonna try to stream a couple more old classic games. Well, I'm gonna do it once a week. That's my plan, to do it once a week. Some of those classic games, and we'll see how it works out.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, man. Later.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm reading here. It says the Knicks and the Rangers have not been tested.
They might as well just start. I mean, the only thing that you can say is that, look, the more and more people that get it, the more and more the community that you're around is going to build immunity. So, because you're going to just find so many. It's like, all right, so if everybody goes to incubation and then 5 months from now we find out, oh, yeah, Frank Ntilikina had coronavirus and he's perfectly fine. It's like, what do we say then? You know what I mean? So, again, a lot of the pandemonium, a lot of the pandemic comes from panic. Just get tested, and then look. And I'm not joking around. It's not like you have HIV or AIDS, right? Yes, it can be deadly to people with compromised immune systems, but as long as you have your immune system is fine, you're healthy, whatever, you take proper precautions, I think for the most part you'll be fine. You know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah. But of course, the scary thing is that if it spreads to so many people, those viruses mutate and different strains pop up. Now they're saying that younger people are contracting it more and getting sick. They've had cases of younger people.
But see, one thing the media doesn't do, Sim, and this is one thing I don't like, is that they don't tell you how many people recovered. There was a.
Well, they do though. They do. I mean, they. I'm watching it all the time because I'm always watching my stocks to see what's going on with the stock market. So I'm watching it all the time, and they pretty much are saying, they tell you, like, for the most part, your chances, if you get it, for the most part, most people are going to, maybe feel a little bit sick. You may not even feel any symptoms at home, and you'll be able to take care of it at home. And you'll be fine. But it's those ones that, is those right now. What, 124 people have passed away in the United States. 124 people have died. I think there's 7. I mean, it's probably more now, but the last time that I looked at it was like a little over 7,000 people who had tested positive, and 125 had passed away. So, but let's go back to the Knicks. It came out the other day that the Knicks are looking at Brock Aller from the not a player, for the front office. He is currently the capologist for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
Sorry. And hire him for what exactly?
And hire him, I guess, to be the capologist.
Okay. All right. Cool.
To be the capologist. It actually didn't say for what. It just said that they were looking at him, I'm assuming, to be a capologist. That's one area where I would feel very comfortable that Leon Rose made the hire. Not that I know a lot about Brock Aller or anything at all, to tell you the truth. But I'm looking at it from this perspective. If he's hiring Brock Aller, right, as a capologist, I'm assuming that they've had a lot of business dealings together, and they've done a lot of work together with Leon Rose as an agent. So my thinking is that he probably understands, hey, this guy understands how to manipulate the cap. You know, from the business dealings that I've had with him, he understands how to manipulate the cap. Because I think that's important. I think it's more important to have somebody that understands how to manipulate the cap than just understands how to keep you under the cap. Like, you got to have people that understand how to take advantage of the loopholes, right? You know, how to move money this way and that way, trade this player for this, and, you know, just do all kinds of weird stuff that opens up things for you now and in the future. You know what I mean? So you got to have, that's why I like the San Antonio Spurs and the Warriors and all these people, all these teams, they end up getting players because they just understand how, they have people that understand how to manipulate the cap. I don't know if this guy does or he does not.
Dre and Drezzy just said the positions for GM.
For GM?
Yeah.
See, I didn't read that it was for the GM. I didn't read that it was for, I didn't know what it was for. I assumed for a capologist. I didn't read that it was for a GM.
I do not. And let me tell you this, man. This is why I don't want a capologist for GM, because I remember, and it's a different sport, but my Jets had a capologist type, Mike Tannenbaum, and he was not a good GM. Didn't know the game of football, didn't know how to draft, didn't know how to build a team. He got lucky with one coach in Mangini who kind of built the team properly, then got a better coach to coach those guys, but they were in Rex Ryan, but they were never able to kind of get those same core of solid players around. They drafted so poorly, got the wrong free agents, and they started going after big names. And that's the thing I'm scared of. Like I said, we have two guys who, let's be honest, they're not really, or they don't really have experience building a basketball organization, if that makes sense. Like, you know, a basketball front office. And I don't want a guy because he's good, one, because just he has a good relationship with the guy. Not saying that's important. That is a plus. But because he has a good relationship and he's a capologist, whatever. I'm not saying that it's easy. But again, the Knicks are not a team where a bunch of free agents are clamoring to go. So a capologist is not as important on the Knicks as, say, maybe the Los Angeles Lakers, where, yes, you have a logjam in LeBron James, but you need to maneuver and find other guys to kind of build around LeBron James and say if AD's there next year. Or a team like the Clippers, who have poor George and Kawhi Leonard, but then you have to maneuver to find the right guys to trade and all that stuff and sign them to the right contracts and backload, front loaders. I don't know if you could do backload and front loads deals in basketball, but the capologist is just not as important. The most important thing is getting a proper team so you can get free agents attracted to, oh, they have a winning product. They have guys I could play around, and I want to play around, not just because I like them or we did summer camps together or did sneakers over the same agency. No, because they actually have a winning product. This guy knows how to play basketball. They got 40 wins last year, even though they probably expect to only get 30-something. I want to play for that team. So capologist is not that important, man. Like, who are we signing?
Well, I disagree.
Right,
I think
it's not as important as getting the guys to properly build a team. I'm not saying it's not important.
No. I agree. I understand that. I'm not saying if you had to put a capologist as your GM. I'm saying if you're hiring a capologist to be a capologist. But I think a capologist is very important.
Agreed 1,000%. But just not a GM. If Dre and Drezzy's right, not a GM. And Dre and Dre just said, I'd rather give Allen Houston promotion and let him work it out. Nah, I'm good on that too.
Now, see, I don't know where, tell G and Drezzy to put the link in the chat. Because what I'm reading, this is the last thing that I've read. It says Brock Aller, and I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. Aller, whatever. Spelled Aller. A capologist with the Cleveland Cavaliers is a strong candidate to join the Knicks. That's all it says. Then it says Allah served as a personal assistant to Cavs owner Dan Gilbert for 10 years before a promotion to senior director of basketball operations.
Doesn't that sound like a GM type position?
The senior director of basketball operations? I don't know. You know, everyone's
in the past. Sorry, not a GM, but in the path of being a GM. So a capologist sounds very like a specialized role versus what he was working towards. Seems like he was probably working towards more of a GM role. Right.
I mean, you know what? It's I don't want to say it's confusing, but I guess he is a capologist, but he also worked as an assistant and then as the senior director of basketball operations. So I don't know. It says, according to Gilbert, Aller was instrumental in the Cavaliers trade with the Knicks for J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert in 2015. So, I don't know. Let me get to this phone call real quick. Maybe this is somebody who has some information on it. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? What's going on with you, man?
Let me pose this very let me pose this iconic question to you. If you were a GM today of any market and any budget, and let's say you had a draft of everybody that's existing and everybody to come, who is your first pick? Who do you build a dynasty around today?
Of the players that's in the NBA today?
Yes, sir.
Giannis.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's who I'm starting with. I'm starting with Giannis.
Yes. I will start there.
Yep, I'm starting with Giannis,
Right.
and then I start to add pieces and build around them. That's where I go.
All right. So this ain't a discussion or a debate because we at least hold true to that. So who do you go from there?
I mean, geez, I don't know. Then I need a point guard, so I'm gonna
Ja
find me a
Morant.
point guard. Maybe probably Ja Morant. Yep, probably Ja Morant.
You're gonna Ja Morant's the second piece of the puzzle.
Yep. Look what he's doing with that team with the Grizzlies. Without Ja Morant, that's not a playoff team. Even with Jaren Jackson, Dylan, whatever the kid, the one from Oregon, the shooting guard.
I can't hear Ja Morant.
So who would you pick?
He's doing great right now in his rookie season, but I mean, come on, I can't hear him for the second pick.
So who are you choosing?
Is it not obvious? Like, is Kawhi not second on your?
Oh, see, I thought you were talking about building a team for the future. I thought we were building a team for the future. Like, if I'm a GM,
have enough years behind him.
No, I mean, but what I'm saying, if I'm a GM, right, and I'm like, you said, because I thought you said, who am I starting to build my franchise around? Now, if I'm thinking franchise, I'm thinking 10 to 15 years. We want to try to win for 10 to 15 years, right? I mean, Kawhi Leonard is great, but, in another, 3 or 4 years, he's going to be leveling off before he starts to go slide down. So I'm looking at, if I'm a GM and I got my pick to start my franchise to go for, the next 15 years, I'm starting with guys that are very young. And maybe, we might make the playoffs and then, because like you said, I got my pick, we might make the playoffs and then have to, grow. But I'm going to start with young guys instead of, Instead of going,
Kawhi Leonard doesn't play games. Like, he's as talented as he is, he gets injured a lot and doesn't play a lot of games like that. Like, he's never played 82 games this season, and I know a lot of players don't do that anymore, but he's often injured or often resting. So if you're talking about franchise guys, you need guys that, all right, they're gonna play at least 78 games, 77 games, 75 games, and you know what the makeup of that offense, you know what the makeup of the defense is versus, okay, you have these guys, but then you have to get a backup because they got to split 50% of the games with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, actually, you know what, Guillermo? I gotta switch up on you. I'm sorry, my bad.
That's fine.
I gotta switch up on you. I gotta switch up on you. Yeah, I'm gonna take Luka. I'm looking in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna take Luka.
Luka.
Yeah, I would go with Giannis and then Luka.
Again, as your point guard.
I didn't say. He just said who's your second player to take.
Oh, okay.
He said point
I'm sorry,
guard.
my bad.
But my second player I'm taking is Luka.
Now, okay, all right, Luka's that's an option, but I mean, hear me out. Kawhi and all to be said about his injuries. We all know his last injury with the Spurs was literally a prolonged injury, albeit to politics more so than a real injury, right? Like, he wanted to get out of there. So that's why he forced his hand.
Well, yeah,
with
because
what
they
he
didn't want to
had.
give him the. They were talking about not giving the max. I think that was a flub on their part.
Exactly.
And yeah, the injuries right now. The injury. I think that injury was real, and then they were starting to just kind of milk the injury. But again, with Kawhi Leonard,
was
is
real
that
to begin, and yes, I agree. It was.
you still got to rest him a lot, though, bro. Like the Kawhi Leonard, talent-wise and production when he's on the court, dude, he's second to none. I think he's the best player in the NBA. But
I agree too.
you need guys who are going to play like I won't say a lot, but your franchise guys, you don't want to where they're not playing a lot. Like, look, if you're talking about Kawhi Leonard in the early days of the Spurs, but if that was the case here, yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. Not early days, but you know when he finally became Kawhi Leonard, but was still playing at least 70 games.
But hear me out though. Like, who carried him on the Raptors?
But that was 1 year, bro. And how many games did he play that year in the regular season? How many games he played in the regular? Kawhi Leonard he's a difference maker. You get Kawhi Leonard, you are going to the playoffs. That's very rare to say for a player. But the reason why I picked Ja Morant is because Ja Morant, to me, he's superseding. And look, he's a rookie, right? But the things that he's doing on the court, he's making his teammates better, and he's playing at a ridiculously dynamic level in an individual sense, offensively, right? I don't know what his threes are. 3-point percentage, but I think last time I looked, it was maybe 38%. It was something better than his college percentage. And the kid is just that dynamic. I mean, he's unselfish too. There's not a guy who's just going to sit there and try to get points. He's not a Westbrook to me. You know what I mean? You're looking for young guys. If you want to pick Luka Doncic, that's fine. So Ja Morant is shooting 36.7% from three, 51.7% for the field, which is excellent. But the thing about it is that with Luka is that as good as I think that he is, right, at his position, does he make other guys better around him? And it sounds crazy. If I get Mark on here, Mark is going to kill me and show me all these advanced stats that basically prove that Luka Doncic is the greatest player of all time. But, to me, as much as I like Luka, every other day I'm hearing about how they need a second scorer. You got KP. Oh, how they need this. You got KP, you got THJ. And it's like I thought that was a team that was supposed to be set. So it's like Luka's a guy that's high usage, but he's not really making guys around him better. But he's shooting at he's scoring at an efficient level. So is he that good of an individual player? And it's kind of like things orbit around him, or you rather get a Ja Morant? And I guess it's a sin because Sim want to pick Luka, or you pick a Ja Morant who could make guys around him better. And when it's 1-on-1 against his defender, he could beat them each and every time.
I agree with that. I would attest that, as you state, Ja Morant is one, a scorer, and two, somebody prolific enough to make people around him better at scoring. So I agree with that. Luka, I don't believe is that man. He's going to get his, but that's,
my thing with Luka is he's 20. He is 20, and he has a long time to develop and to develop that game and learn how to, will he? Who knows? But, Ja Morant, too, is 19. So, he would be my next guy. He would be my point guard. I would put Luka at the 3. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'd go ahead and put Luka at the 3.
Yo, Luka can only really he plays the one. He's a big one. He can't play.
I don't know. I think that he could be a player that plays like LeBron can play any position on the floor. I think he can be a player that plays any position on the floor.
But Sim, LeBron James, that's only a name only because every time LeBron James is on the court, he can't play off ball. He needs the ball in his hand. So you can put him at the 5. He's going to be a point center.
Yeah, I get that. But he can play some off the ball. He doesn't especially now in his career. Especially now in his career, he's playing a lot in the post.
Can y'all show me? And I'm talking about where he's hanging off the wing and it's in his crunch time, and you got to pass the ball to him, and he has to take that quick 3. And I'm not talking about that, step to his left and throw that ugly Bigfoot 3 that he likes to always throw. Yeah, I'm talking about playing off the wing. A guy's coming down, drives to the basket, gets double teamed into the lane, and he passes out to LeBron James in a corner 4-3. Can LeBron James do that? No, he can't. He never wants to do that. He struggled
can't-
with, remember the
he
year
can't
with
do that.
Wade, the first year with Wade. Wade was having a career year, and LeBron James couldn't fit because he had to play off Wade, and he had to change the system for LeBron.
I don't know. I think he can. I mean, I think he can. I've seen LeBron hit spot up 3-point shots. And Luka is more fluent offensively than LeBron James. He has much more talent offensively than LeBron James.
I agree.
I think he can do anything on the floor that you ask him to do.
Remember, Luka struggled with, and I'm not saying DSJ is good, but Luka struggled with DSJ being a point guard and where he had to play off ball. Not struggle, excuse me, but he had a big issue with it. And that's one of the reasons why they did trade DSJ. Not to say that there were other issues.
I think it was more DSJ than Luka.
What's that again?
I think it was more Dennis Smith Jr. than Luka.
It could have been, but remember
I think
that
it was
shot
more
where
Dennis
DSJ
Smith
tried to lay it
Jr.
up
being
or
a-
something like that, and he missed it, and Luka was just looking at him like, yo, what the F? And it was like, huh? But the shot DSJ took wasn't a bad shot at all. It was a proper layup. It's just,
I mean, I think that was more Dennis Smith Jr. He had the ball in his hands, and then someone came in and they took the ball out of his hands. I think it was more of that.
I got a question for both of you guys, though.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you guys want to build a team, right? So I got Morant and Giannis. You got Giannis and Luka. The dude on the phone got. Sorry, what's your? I apologize. I
Well,
don't
you
know
need 3.
your name.
So
You need
I mean,
3.
I mean, you got to put out a team. So I mean,
All right, so
basically,
who's
he's
your
saying,
center?
who's my
your
center? For me?
In this day and age, who's your center?
Whew, that's a tough one. Who is
Bro,
my
I
center?
told you.
Play in a day and an age where there's no such thing as the center no more.
But you still need somebody to play at. Okay, but then you unless you're psychotic like the Rockets and your tallest guy is 6'6", who
Yeah.
are you gonna get to at least man? Like you, I don't understand what you're saying. So I guess you want a Draymond or
No.
like what type? You still have to have somebody at the 5 that even if it's gonna be a space 5, it gotta be.
You're pushing that out because he was the one on the team that proved to you that you didn't need a big man no more.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I agree. That's why I asked the question. It's
you may
tough
not
to
need
get
a big
center.
guy that's posting up, but I still think you need this size.
You still need a
I
rim
still
protector.
think you need the 7-foot guy. He doesn't have to post up. Maybe a few posts up here and there because the game is different. But still someone who
Okay,
can post up will help you spread the floor out.
If I have, you give me Kawhi, Giannis, and Durant, I'm good with that.
Durant
now.
Durant. I mean,
Durant,
I'm not.
yeah.
We're not saying that. I'm not saying Durant is bad. Obviously, he's a good
not
player.
Coming back, okay.
No. But he got that Achilles. Forget the Corona stuff. He has that Achilles. He has to come back from.
Yeah, and he's 31. See, I'm thinking you're building a team that's, that's like growing up together. That's what I'm thinking. That's my mindset with it. I mean, I don't know. Are you talking win now?
10 more years?
Is KD going to be in the league for 10 more years?
Hell no. What?
No. KD got.
Wow.
You think KD is going to be in the league till he's
I
41?
want the weed that y'all are on tonight.
Bro.
He tore his Achilles. Yo, but the only guy who did that is what? Is Carter?
Hey, remember when Kobe
Kobe did it and played through the motherfucking game.
You're tripping.
Oh, you got 2 people
This
on here.
dude.
Yo, that scared me. I was like, yo, how'd
Sorry,
your
but
voice
you're
get so
talking to
high?
a Lakers girl right here. Y'all tripping.
Oh, how many people we got on?
I know. Yeah, that scared me. I was like, yo, this is a
Hey,
Portugal.
I got my own
the Portugal guy?
broadcast team, motherfucker. Come on, I can't correct.
Try to keep the language cool for me, please, bro.
I'm sorry.
Appreciate
I
that.
apologize.
But I have to say, Kobe ripped his Achilles, and what did he do? He kept playing through the game, and then he still came back. You can't.
Yeah,
tell
but he
me
wasn't
that Durant's
elite.
not
And
gonna
you talking about
come
guys to
back
build
without-
around. You wouldn't get Kobe after the Achilles. You would get Kobe, like during the championship years. You get Kobe even in the so-called lean years, the 81-point years. But you're not getting Kobe after his Achilles because he came back for what, 1 or 2 more seasons? He wasn't the same after that.
But
You
you're
saw
gonna tell me that Durant's not gonna come back after his little.
a 7-foot play.
he'll
The
come
Achilles
back,
is probably
but-
the
Kobe-
worst injury
Kobe came
in
back.
basketball.
Kobe came back after the Achilles at like 38 years old. This man is 31.
But do you think
You know what I'm saying?
you think that KD's gonna come back and play another 10 years?
Yes.
He might play
Amen.
10
I
years,
do,
but he's not gonna play 10 years at that high of a level.
Yeah, no one's ever done that. The only person who even and Charles Barkley broke the myth, right? That after Dominique Wilkins came back, that he averaged 28 and all that stuff. They said they had to basically feed the ball and push the offense through him. So it wasn't a 28 where it's fluid, right? It's like, all right, force him the ball, slow down the offense, and do everything to help him get those points, right? So once you tear your Achilles, I hope Kevin Durant comes back because on the basketball court he's fun to watch. But you talking about 10 years after an Achilles? Nah. Now, if you're talking about maybe an ankle or something like that, but no one has ever done it. And to think about it again, you got to realize when you're tall like that and your limbs already that stretched out, it's not easy for you to come. Like, that's an injury. Maybe it's better for compact people, maybe 5'6", 5'7", maybe come back. You don't have to have much wear and tear and pull on it. But after you're 7 feet
you're proving my
or
point
6'10",
at
whatever
this
it
point.
is.
You're proving my point is that KD does not need to take contact.
Who said that?
Very good.
I mean, but I
On
mean,
the
look, even
perimeter.
if KD,
You know what I'm saying?
even if KD,
he's
did
the
not
most
have,
prolific scorer of
but
all
look,
time.
I get that.
Wait.
But
Why
even
is he
if
prolific?
But
He's
look,
prolific because you have to
What do you
respect his
mean, why is
shot
he
and you got to respect his
prolific?
drive. Hold up, if you who's one of the greatest 3-point shooters? Say like a guy like say one of the greatest. Say Reggie. No, say Reggie Miller. Like say Ray Allen, right? Ray Allen
Okay.
when he was on the Bucks was a all-around shooting guard. And the reason why he became famous is because you had to respect his drive. Like, this guy was a guy who could slash since his UConn days. Now, obviously, he got older, but even as he got older, they had to gear the game more towards push him around, pull him around, have him come up with screens and curls, all that stuff to get him open. KD operates in this sense, right? And the same thing with Curry, right? You got to respect the fact that he can either blow right past you or he could shoot it in your face. Now, if KD was just a spot-up shooter, right, all I have to do is just basically play him for a shot. I can beat him to whatever spot he gets to. I can get help there. The reason why KD is so dangerous off of scoring is because he could do it in a myriad
of ways.
number of ways. So that's why you have to respect him. Same thing with
All right,
Curry.
well,
It's just a spot-up three-point shooter.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on from this one.
So what? Essentially, your argument is that when KD comes back from his Achilles, he's going to be a more constrained player because people are going to be playing him to a particular role, and they're going to take that role away from him.
No, I said that they might. I never said he would. KD might come back 100, but
hey, Guillermo, hold up. So
that's fine.
just,
But
hold up, because I'm gonna move on from this. I had to move on from my man. People not hearing, so I just moved on. My man, I didn't mean I had to hang up, but I had to move on, and I couldn't get a word in, so I had to move on from there. That being said, even if KD didn't suffer an Achilles injury, he's not going to be playing at that level till 41 years old. You know what I mean? So anyway.
I hope this guy wasn't having a show recording you.
He might have been doing that. Hey, listen, I thought about doing that. So I ain't mad at him if that's what he was doing. I ain't mad at him because I actually thought about calling the Stephen A. Smith show while I was live. You know what I mean? I really thought about doing that, but I was like, I don't know what the ramifications of that might be. You know what I'm saying? But I really did. I thought about calling the Stephen A. Smith show. You know what I'm saying?
Enamored, what's up, dog?
Yeah, I thought about calling the Stephen A. Smith show live while I was streaming. You know, but I decided not to do it.
Stephen A. Smith show.
Crazy, man.
Hey, Davon,
good,
Davon, can you turn that down in the back?
Sports out of work. Hey,
Davon, do me a favor.
You're live. Yo, Devon, you live.
Yeah, turn that down in the back. Turn that down in the back. What's going on, man?
What's up, Uncle Sam? How you been?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
My bad. I didn't know I was live like that. My bad.
Oh, I didn't even hear you said anything. I don't know. Put a Guillermo on me. But so what's happening with you, man? You said you had to work, huh?
Yeah, NBA down, so I'm down. So
you work for the NBA?
Yeah.
Oh Lord,
man.
They give you like a stipend or something, man?
Nah, not yet.
Nah, damn.
Yeah. Working on that. So just been, trying to fill that void in with, other things.
Yeah, man. That's all we're trying to do, man. Trying to fill in the void. Trying to fill in the void. Have different different types of shows, different type of things going on, man. I'm actually about to jump on the front
Everybody trying
stoop
to
when I get off of here.
compromise, figure it out.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna jump on the front stoop when I get off of here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna talk about yet, but I'm gonna jump on.
We could talk about Rosenberg and his corny A having an issue with Jay Electronica's album.
We can talk about. Yeah,
I don't know what new music though, but I haven't listened to anything.
But let me get to this phone call. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Wow, Sam, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up, man? Hey, what's going on with you, bro?
Oh man, bored as hell.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. So, yeah,
hey,
I know.
But so we only have the Knicks to talk about, right?
Say that again.
We always have the Knicks to talk about.
Now, I won't have no Knicks to talk about, man.
I'm gonna talk about it.
I mean,
I have a bunch of questions for you.
All right, go ahead, shoot.
Okay, we are a rich team, the richest team in the league. Why aren't we flexing the economic muscle on development? Have you ever wondered about that?
I mean,
if we could put a dream team together, go out and get Joe, the Impact basketball guy, Joe something. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. We cannot overspend everybody and players, right? You follow me? We cannot overspend because of the cap. But there's no cap on how much money you can put in development. So it just occurs to me all the time. Why can't the Knicks or MSG build a training facility that will blow everybody away? Instead of wasting money the way they've been doing for so long on overpaid players, and then build a base, Knicks rebrand. They become the San Antonio Spurs, the best development team by far. You sell that to your players. You get your players to buy in because they come in here and they're going, wow, look at these facilities, and we have so much training. It's a place where you can get better. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you, man. I hear you. I don't know why.
Go ahead.
I have no idea why they don't do that. They obviously can do that. Let me say something. I went to a school in Virginia to visit. Right, me and my daughter, we went there to visit VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University.
Yeah,
and
Charles Oakley came out for there, I think.
Charles Oakley came from Virginia Union, but this is Virginia.
I'm sorry.
yeah. So this is Virginia Commonwealth, and they have a $25 million basketball development facility, and it's crazy. And these are college kids, and nobody else in the university can use that facility besides the basketball players. No baseball. I don't think they have football. No track. Nobody. They have two gyms, one for the men, one for the women. You go into the gym, and on the wall, they have televisions on the wall in the gym because they monitor your heart rate. Then they got this big movie theater right outside. There's a door. You go into this big movie theater, and then you go, in the movie theaters where they break down film and they do all this stuff in there. They got this huge weight room, one for the men, the men and women, they actually share the weight room. You go upstairs, they have an area for men and women where they're able to, where they have like a area for them to eat, and it tells them how much food they should put into this and how much food they should put into that. And then there's a little room for them to play video games and to rest and relax. And they got state-of-the-art locker rooms and all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure the Knicks have this stuff too, though, right, in their areas. But this is college. And, they built a $25 million basketball development center. And you're talking about underwater treadmills.
20 million?
$25 million. You're talking about underwater treadmills, all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you, man. They need to put some money into.
For a minute, I was afraid you were gonna say they spent $25 million and the team suck.
Well, their team. No, I mean, their team is just okay. They don't have the greatest team, but you know. I said their team is just okay. They don't have the greatest team, but you know.
Yeah, but you know, and here's my thing, because I read a book called The Talent Code. And I also, it's funny because there's a guy named Antoine Davis. He's coming out of college, I think, this year. And his father read the book. It was in the, so it was in an article that they wrote about the road of this guy toward trying to make to the NBA. So they're talking about how his father decided to train him himself, and he trained him on a bunch of stuff. But bottom line is that they believe the talent code believes in repetition, and meaning that you always your skill, you can have natural talent, but your skill will be developed to an optimum level with fully concentrated practice, where you are on that zone and you practicing and you know what you're doing. You are in it with it. And so there's things, and then I started. So from there, from that book, I started, looking at different things and different places, thinking about development. I was doing it more for soccer than basketball, but like for instance, there's a team in Germany, Dortmund, and they have this facility where their players, they have like it's like it looks like one of those laser tag facilities, but they use that to increase the player reaction time, and they do all kinds of things. It's very advanced. And Dortmund is a team that they are like a factory of great players that they develop. They're not the best team because they usually sell them. I don't know if you follow a lot of soccer, but it's a little different out there because players can be sold for money and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm saying that those kind of modern things where you can flex the financial muscle could be the key to start getting this franchise out of the funk, out of that, and because it's needed also too, because they are so bad at developing players,
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
And
hey, I got it. I'm about
change. It will be the rebranding instead of. I wish I could talk to that guy. What's his name? The new rebranding guy.
Leon Rose.
Our supposedly going to be Drake.
Steve Stout.
Steve Stout. Yeah.
Our Drake. Yeah.
This will be a great idea to rebrand. You rebrand by offering a superior product, and the product includes training because it's good for the players. It includes reputation too. So things that you're doing you start raising eyebrows. People be like, wow, look at how they're developing. Look at all the things they're doing. Get the community involved. You can try to maximize the facility by having people in the community or basketball come in. They could go to the facility. There's a bunch of things that you could do with the facility to help recoup some of that investment. But bottom line, it's like I wish they would do that. I can't understand why that is unacceptable. In other words, I want to say it's unacceptable that we have so bad at development.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I agree with you 100%. We need that kind of development. But hey, I appreciate your call, man. I gotta let you go because I'm about to get up out of here. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right, but I appreciate
All
your
right.
call
Well-
and your insight, man, because you're right. We need that kind of development. We definitely do.
Hey, so I appreciate you hearing me out.
All right, man. Have a good one.
And you guys stay. I'm here in Florida. We got our problems. You guys have big problems up there. I pray for all of New York. I used to live in New York. I know it's gotta be crazy up there. So I stay safe, and I hope the best.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Good night.
You stay safe as well. Good night.
All right.
Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys, man. Big shout out to Michael Parker. Thank you for the super chat. He said the Knicks shouldn't be trying to win any more games if the season resumes. Get the tank rolling. We need LaMelo. Well, speaking of the draft, since you brought up the draft, Michael Parker, speaking of the draft, on Friday, we're going to kick off our draft. We're going to kick off our little draft special. So we're going to have a draft special on Friday. I'm about to put the link in the chat here where you guys can go set your reminders. All right, so you guys can go in there and set your reminder. But yeah, we're going to do a draft special on Friday. I originally had it at 8 o'clock. I'm not going to do it at 8 o'clock. I'm going to start it at 10:30. All right, because 8 o'clock doesn't seem to be an optimal hour. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start it at 8:30. I mean, at 10:30. All right, I was trying something new just to see, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out doing at 8 o'clock. So, draft special this Friday, 10:30 p.m. Make sure you go in there right now. Click that link right now and set your reminder. All right, so that you get a reminder and you get the notification. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you guys. And I want you guys that's on here to stay with me, man, because I'm about to jump right over to the front stoop in about 10, 15 minutes. So make sure you stay on. And for those, I do not have the link to the video up for the front stoop yet. But if you want to join us on the front stoop, we'll probably, maybe we'll talk about Donald Glover's album. He came out with a surprise album, Donald Glover Presents. So maybe we'll talk about that. All right. It seems to be a mystery, though. I guess it got taken down from the website. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some other stuff going on in music. Maybe listen to some independent music that I had sent to me. All right. So I am putting the link to the YouTube channel in the chat right now. So you guys can go on over or, hit the notification button or subscribe to the channel, and you'll be able to check us out in just about 10-15 minutes. All right, so make sure go to the front stoop right now so you can leave this page right now. That's fine by me. Got 159 people in there, 160 people in here, so I would like to see 160 people over at the front stoop too. All right, go to the front stoop. We're going to talk about hip hop. We're going to talk about life and society and whatever else we talk about. All right, so make sure you go and join us over there. All right, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. And go subscribe to the channel right now so that you get the notification as soon as I jump on. All right, because I'm going to be live there in about 10 minutes. And also, if you did not get a chance to look at the live stream of the Knicks versus Celtics 1990 playoff game, Game 5, well, you have a chance to. I'm going to put a link in the chat to that too, so you can go check that out, whenever you get a chance to. We had a good time. It was a good show. We had fun doing it. All right, so make sure you get over there and check that out too. Okay? Knicks versus Celtics, Game 5, 1990. Old video, but it was cool. All right, so make sure you guys get over there and check all of that stuff out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm heading off right now so I can get over and I can get on to the front stoop and get all of that stuff. All right. Adam Collier said you just subscribe to the front stoop. Cool. I'm wait to see you over there. And also, everybody who is a member look for a notification sometime tomorrow about a special live video that's only for members. You know what I'm saying? It's only for members. So those who are members, you will be, you'll get the notification. It'll be tomorrow or Friday morning, but you'll get the notification. It's going to be a special live video only for those who are members. And also, I'm going to need a place to mail you. I have some stickers and stuff to mail to you guys. So make sure that you get me that information as well. All right. So be on the lookout for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Those who are joining me on the front stoop, I will catch you in just a couple of minutes, man. Be peaceful. Be safe. Keep your hygiene up. All that good stuff, man. Peace.
That's the